Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're watching my channel for the first time, my name is Amra. I create and post content promoting gender equality between the sexes every week. So I hope you will consider subscribing. You guys know what to do. If you like this video, make sure to give me a thumbs up. So today I'm going to talk about the portrayal of women by media. First, I want to talk about media itself. You see, media has the power, great power, to actually influence people's brains, their thinking, their beliefs, and without even knowing that our thinking is being affected, we are getting brainwashed in one way or the other, sometimes in a positive way, sometimes in a negative way. And that is huge power have to be able to influence so many people at the same time. We don't always realize when we're watching commercials or we're watching plays or movies or even the news, we don't actually realize what kind of an effect it is having on our brains, and our beliefs, and what kind of stereotypes or maybe good and bad things it is putting in our heads. So with great responsibility comes accountability. They need to be more responsible about giving positive messages instead of negative ones. And I'm not saying that media is always giving negative messages, but I'm just saying that media has huge power and it needs to take responsibility in creating people's positive images. The media has the power to create stereotypes as well. That simplistic generalizations end up causing us to assume things because we do not see the small differences in people. So we start assuming, and that is what stereotypes are. I'm going to give you a definition of what a stereotype is so that everyone is clear about what I'm saying. Let's see, stereotype definition. Of course, you guys can Google this yourselves, but I'm going to do this so that you don't have to. Okay, so I just Googled the definition of stereotype, and it says, a stereotype is a mistaken idea or belief many people have about a thing or group that is based upon how they look on the outside, which may be untrue or only partly true. Stereotyping people is a type of prejudice because what is on the outside is a small part of what a person is. Just like the color of my skin is only a small part of who I am, or the color of my eyes is only a small part of who I am. If you are going to base my whole being on my nose or the color of my skin, then you are not going to get the complete picture, and you will be assuming a lot of things, and those assumptions that you are making are stereotypes. You're stereotyping. Okay, so I hope that has clarified. Now let's talk about some examples. There's one thing that bothers me the most about stereotyping in Pakistan particularly, but also generally around the world, because this sort of thing, especially in our subcontinent, this thing exists. This is like, it's just all over the place. You see it in plays, you see it in commercials, you see it in movies, you see it in generally people talk like this. And that is the color of a girl's skin. I'm not saying that everybody believes this in Pakistan or the subcontinent or the world. Of course, there are many people like me who do not believe in this. But generally speaking, this is what I see on the media. This is what I hear people saying. I have actually seen people's lives getting destroyed because of the way they were made to feel about their looks. I watch commercials which have been sometimes filmed in India, because India and Pakistan have quite a similar culture in many ways. In those commercials, you will see that the girl is dark-skinned, and a guy is ignoring her, and he's refusing to marry her because of the color of her skin, but then suddenly she uses this whitening cream or whatever you call it, and then she suddenly turns into this fair girl, this fair-skinned girl, and he isn't even able to recognize her when he sees her next, and then he wants to suddenly marry her. Okay, so this is disgusting. This is downright disgusting. And when we don't stand up against this sort of thing, this sort of thinking, these beliefs, this belief system, and I think that this needs to be stopped. And I think the only way this is actually going to get stopped is if we stand up and we say, no more of this. We don't want to hear this. We don't care about this. We don't care about whitening creams. Please take them away from us. They cause cancer in any case and are banned in some countries, but they are being used in the developing countries because all we care about is having fair skin. You need to understand, I do not have the power to change the color of my skin. I do not have the power to change my features. I do not have power over these things. I do have power over what is inside me, how I think, what is inside my head, what I believe in, what my value system is. But I do not have power over my looks. I can lose weight or I can put on weight, and that is in my power. But it's not in my power to change my features. It's not in my power to change the color of my skin. It is in my power to be a good person, to be caring, to be loving, to be thoughtful. It is in my power to be negative or to be positive. It is in my power to get an education. You get the idea, right? Anyway, moving on. Another example I want to give to you is women parliamentarians. When women parliamentarians are being shown on TV the first day that they're going to Parliament, what do you see? We see that there are these women who are being shown as brand ambassadors. We're being told what brand some woman parliamentarian's bag is, or her hairstyle is like that, or her clothes are from some particular store. Why are we focusing on what they're wearing, what they're holding in their hands, what their hair looks like? Shouldn't we actually be worried about what these women, as professionals and as people who have been elected in their constituencies, what are they going to do for us? Why is it that media does not ask them that question? Why is it that we always want to show them as people who are modeling certain brands? I feel very strongly about this. I don't know if I'm the only one who feels this, but I do feel very strongly about this. And I did talk to the heads of certain media organizations. I asked them at a seminar why it is that we need to have women shown as brand ambassadors. Why don't you ask them what they're going to do for their country, what they're going to do for their constituency, for the people who have elected them? And the answer I got to that was, we have to think about our ratings too. And one of the guys told me, if we don't show a certain politician, parliamentarian going into the parliament, holding a certain bag or, wearing certain clothes, they actually call us up and they complain. Why didn't you show me holding my bag? Why didn't you talk about me? And I was just looking at him because I just felt so disgusted. These are our professionals, and we should be showing these women as professionals who are actually going to make a change. We should actually be questioning them about what they're going to do, because that should matter to us. Why are we portraying them as models? They're not there for modeling. They're there to do something for the country, for the people, for their constituencies. I feel that media can do a much better job portraying women in sports, in education, in the parliament, in commercials, dramas, plays that we watch. To be fair, I think that there are plays that are being created where women's issues are being brought up, and I really enjoy watching those plays, and I think it's a really good thing that that is happening. But we still have a long way to go, and I think that it's not just the media that has to take responsibility. We, as citizens watching these plays and these commercials, we also need to take responsibility, and we need to say that we don't want to watch this anymore. We don't want this sort of thinking in our culture anymore. We need to teach our children to be good people instead of focusing on their looks. We need to make sure that our children or anyone we have influence over knows the difference between things they can change and the things they cannot change. And they should focus more on what they can change. Right. That is something we have to change in our culture. And we cannot just blame the government for everything. We cannot blame the media for everything. We cannot blame other people for everything. We have to take responsibility ourselves. So now I'm going to leave you guys with a question. How do you think you can make a difference? How do you think you can change this sort of thinking? And if there is someone who doesn't think that this thinking should be changed, I would like to hear why. So do let me know. If you guys learned or liked something in this video, make sure to give me a thumbs up. Also, make sure to subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.